So growing up, it was a little crazy at home. I had an abusive father who was on drugs and just really unstable, and he would get violent pretty often, and my mom was just in this cycle of just being abused. She didn't know how to get out of it, and so even when he came out of jail, she would still go back to him. After that, I got really sad and eventually just became really depressed and didn't really want to live. And my mom was starting to notice that, so she kind of didn't want to be at home, and she decided to kind of leave. And so she would leave for weeks or days without telling me that she was not going to come home. It was a little lonely because my sister had already moved out. She just got really into partying and doing drugs, and so she didn't really come home. She moved out her sophomore year of high school. I think the way that I survived being at home was just taking it out on myself. So starting senior year of high school, I developed an eating disorder. I just would basically not eat because I knew that if I got sick, my mom would come home and come visit me, and she would just take care of me. I remember that that's the only way that I really got affection. I just kind of spiraled until one of my friends noticed, and she reached out to me, and I told her what was going on, and she was kind enough to take me to the hospital, and I got a social worker for the first time. And I've kind of explained to her what was going on at home, what had happened, the things that have happened in my life, and it was just kind of really overwhelming, and I really couldn't handle it, and I knew that I couldn't go home. And she basically told me that there was a shelter that I could go to where I could receive therapy and I could get better. It was pretty close to home, so I could have friends that could visit me, but at the same time I would be safe enough and far enough where people wouldn't find me. It was really cool. It was my first safe place. So we would do a lot of therapy. So it would be through art or through music. We would go on these amazing hikes up in Laguna Beach, or just go to the park and just be kids. I think my favorite part though was having consistency in my life, because you ate at a certain time, you cleaned at a certain time, you bathed at a certain time, you went to sleep at a certain time, you woke up at a certain time, and for the first time I felt like I was stable in my life. And for some reason it just felt so comforting. My therapist, I remember she was telling me how it would just be a safe family environment that I could go to up until I turned 18, and so it gave me a little chance to find out where I was going after that. The whole time I thought, okay, I have 3 months with these people and that's it. And within a week I met with a family who's now my forever family. It felt so special to me that they wanted me, that they weren't I wasn't a burden for them, or that they were doing it as because they had to. That these people genuinely want to do this for you. They genuinely want to be there for you. And so we were just talking, because we always have these random little talks around the kitchen island, and I just remember her asking have you ever thought of being adopted by us? And I was like, yeah, I think about it all the time. For other people it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but for someone that doesn't really know exactly where they stand sometimes in life, or their place or their value, sometimes it means a lot for someone to ask them to get adopted. I've always dreamed of being asked. I've always dreamed of this being a reality, but I didn't know it could actually come true.